This is Rock and Roll English. Real people, real English. Here's your host, Martin Johnston.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Rock and Roll English, episode number 251. A new era in Rock and Roll English. Well, actually, everything's pretty much the same, but whatever. And this is the last episode of the year of 2021 because I have a few stressful weeks up ahead because I hopefully will be going to England, depending on COVID stuff, obviously. But I may also be moving to England permanently, depending on other boring factors. So for this reason, the next podcast will be on the 10th of January, okay? Obviously, for Rock and Roll English family members, this is not the case. In fact, I have a nice surprise lined up for you over Christmas, where there will be a podcast every day. So that is something to look forward to. But yes, this will be the last Monday podcast, let's call it, before Christmas. So we speak about Christmas. Kind of makes sense, doesn't it? And more specifically, the differences between a British Christmas and an American one. Because we have substitute Sabrina here, so a kind of American person. She doesn't like to call herself American, but she has an American accent, so you make your own conclusion, okay? Anyway, we talk about these differences in a kind of strange way because I've taken words that are connected to Christmas from Christmas, if that makes sense. For example, we have Christmas words beginning with C, Christmas words beginning with H, Christmas words beginning with R, I, S, T, M, A, S. Christmas. If you still don't understand, just rewind that bit and listen again. But before I go, remember that membership to the Rock and Roll English family will open again early next year, probably at the end of January. And there are also big changes in the Rock and Roll English family with a new big amazing platform. But I will tell you more about that in the new year. In the meantime, here is the conversation. Happy listening. Substitute Sabrina, how are you today?
How am I? I'm doing good. How are you?
Always fantastic. Even though we are talking without video, it's a bit strange, isn't it? Because we've got some internet problems. So I'm talking to you without video. It is a bit strange, isn't it?
It is strange because I'm just looking at the computer and seeing your beautiful picture of you as a professional. So it's better to see your face though.
Oh, because, you see people's profile picture, don't you? I
Yeah.
can see yours, which is a picture of a rainbow, which just fills me with happiness.
Yes, isn't it?
Exactly. So that has made me feel fantastic. So on to today's show. So how do we usually start the show, Substitute Sabrina?
Let's see. I think you do a review?
Correct. Do you think we have a review?
Well, I mean, you're a superstar, so I think you do have a review.
I think a superstar might be a little bit over the top, but yes, we do. And it's from Dennis, and it says, "Hello, Martin and co. I discovered your podcast just recently and immediately became a regular listener. As a taxi driver, I have the opportunity to listen to different English podcasts in my car, and I don't give a shit whether the passengers like it or not." Which fantastic. Although he does say, "Just kidding. I listen to this with my headphones." So to be honest, last year I was listening to Luke's English podcast most of the time, but now I'm enjoying and having a laugh with your podcast as well. Keep going, guys. From Russia with love. Excellent. So
Wow.
Thank you very much for that, Dennis. And I think that your passengers in the taxi will like Rock and Roll English as well. Even if I think they're from Russia, hopefully they can improve their English. So on to today's show, Substitute Sabrina. I gave you a little bit of a heads up, so a little bit of a warning. Mm-hmm. The plan was to talk about the differences between the Christmas in the UK and Christmas in the US, which we are going to do, but we're doing it in a crazy way, okay? I've got the word Christmas and things starting with those letters. So, for example, for C, for Christmas, I have things like cards, carols, crackers, and then we're going to discuss all of these things. Okay.
Okay.
So number one, and speaking of the differences, is crackers, because in England we have Christmas crackers, which are kind of like little tubes, I suppose, of paper, and you pull them and it makes a big noise. It makes like a noise. And there's a toy in there, there's a joke in there, there's a hat in there, but you don't have these in America, do you?
No, the only crackers we have are saltine crackers. We don't do crackers like that at Christmas.
Just checking. No, in England, this is a massive, massive thing. And the other thing with inside the crackers is that there are these little hats, and then you have to wear them for the meal. And so you and all of your family are sitting around with this kind of little crown made out of paper. And it really is one of the most ridiculous things, I think. It's such a sad
ridiculous
thing. Yeah, and in fact, I'm going to say it, I'm not a big fan of Christmas Day. I like the build-up to Christmas, but Christmas Day, I've never been a fan of, because just even sitting around wearing this stupid paper hat, I just feel like such an idiot.
I was actually going to ask you, so do you guys not celebrate Christmas Eve?
That's the problem, I think, because we celebrate that too much. Certainly, well, in the past, when I was like in my 20s, let's say, you go out drinking a lot and get home very late. So by the time you wake up on Christmas Day, you're not really in the mood to do anything.
Wow.
And then someone's giving you this stupid paper hat to put on and reading a terrible joke from a Christmas cracker. So I'm really painting a wonderful image of Christmas in the UK.
Yeah,
here.
that is kind of, because Christmas Eve in the US is a little bit different, which I'll explain when we get to it.
Right, okay. Well, we're here now. Tell us.
Okay, basically, I mean, because you said you guys go out, have drinks, and, and you celebrate Christmas Day, the 25th. But the 24th is actually a big day because... because remember, I'm from Miami, so I'm going to give you the two versions. Your typical American, Christmas Eve, they prepare the cookies for Santa. If they have kids at home, the kids go to bed, and then the parents prepare the stockings, excuse me, not the socks.
Yeah. I liked how you had to include in the story the kids go to bed, because on normal nights they don't go to bed.
They have to wait for Santa to come. So they put, the little Christmas letter to Santa Claus. But on the other side, in the Latino version, you have big parties. The 24th is a big party, and then you open your gifts on the 24th as, if you have like Latino origins.
Right, okay. And again, I think this just is another reason why Christmas Day itself, the build-up is good, I think. Christmas Eve is great, but then the day is a bit of a letdown, so a bit of a disappointment. But although this year I very much doubt I will be going out until 3 o'clock in the morning, drinking, getting very drunk, now that I have a child. But we will see. Maybe I'll bring her with me. So on the C as well... that sounds a bit bad. I'm not going to talk about the C word. I'm going to talk about Christmas cards, which again in the UK are a very big thing. You have to send cards to all of your friends and all of your family, and pretty much since I've been an adult, my whole family every year just think I'm a piece of shit because I never send Christmas cards, because it's just too much for me. I just don't see the point. They always give them to me. I say thanks, and then it's embarrassing because I don't give them one back. But what about in the States? Do you give lots of Christmas cards?
In the past, yes, people send Christmas cards, or even at work you exchange a Christmas card. Yeah. But I don't think it happens that often anymore. I mean, I don't know. With all the new technology, maybe some people still do it, like old school. But we used to do it as kids. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I even remember that in school, like lots of people bringing in Christmas cards for all of the class at work. And even when I was in school, it was just like, what's the point in this? And the problem is normally what happens, I think normally maybe I've seen this with my friends, their wives obviously do it because they're too lazy to do it. So their wives do it. But because it's kind of a girly thing, I think, like sending cards and all of this.
Shut up.
No, I think it is. I think it is. But Mrs. R&R is worse than me. So it's a nightmare. But so another one on C is carols, Christmas carols. Now, this, in my opinion, is the best part of Christmas. What about you? What do you think?
As far as Christmas carols, do they do them? Is that your question?
Well, do you enjoy them? For example, like Silent Night. Oh, Silent Night. I don't think I know the rest of the song, but that's a great one.
All right, I'm going to sound like, let's see, a Grinch. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I'm not really into carols. They actually get on my nerves.
Nice. A lot of them do, but I think I love them because when I was a child, when I was about, 10, 11, 12, we used to go round people's houses, knock on the door and sing these, and then people would give you money because you're going around providing entertainment. It sounds a bit bad, providing entertainment. It kind of sounds like I was going knocking on the door and taking off my clothes.
Yeah, what kind of entertainment are you preparing?
I think really they were just paying us to shut up and leave them alone. But still, at the end of the night, I had money in my pocket, so I was happy.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the C. So on to the H, okay?
I'm sorry, can you pronounce that again?
The H.
Why you... Hey, it's H.
Like you're an A there.
It's H.
A sound.
H.
It's a...
Oh, Jesus, you sound like a pervert.
Well, I've just told you that I was going around knocking on people's doors, taking off my clothes when I was 10. So, yeah. So imagine what I'm like now at 37 after all of those extra years of pervert experience I have.
Okay.
So, yes, on to H. So another difference, actually, is that in England we say Happy Christmas instead of Merry Christmas, which you say in the US, right?
Exactly. We say Merry Christmas. None of this Happy Christmas. It's Merry Christmas.
I mean, we say Happy Birthday, so it just makes sense. Happy Christmas.
No, it's Merry Christmas and Happy Birthday. Two different things.
For me, it's the same. If you're wishing someone a happy birthday, now it's Christmas, so you say Happy Christmas. When it's Easter, Happy Easter. And all of the rest of it, it just works.
Because merry is being merry. It's being happy. It's so we say Merry Christmas.
Okay, got ya. So another one is holidays, because there are lots of days off. In England, we have the 25th, the 26th, Boxing Day, then the 1st of January. But I know in the US, you don't really get many holidays, do you? You get like 5 days a year or something like that.
Yeah, holidays are a little bit, let's say, short compared to the rest of the world. No, after Christmas Day, 26th, everybody goes to work and you go to school.
You go to school on the 26th of December.
If I remember correctly, yes, because that's it. The holiday's over. Then you have New Year. Oh, no, wait. I'm wrong. Sorry, it's been a long time. Definitely you go back to work. But school, no, you have the Christmas break. Sorry.
Right. Okay. So back to work on the 26th of December. I mean, obviously there are jobs where you do that in England, but the standard is that is holiday. But,
why is it called Boxing Day?
See, now I could have done more research there. There are different theories about this, actually. So I don't want to get involved. Okay, there are different things. So I'll leave that to the listeners to find out.
Okay.
So H as well for hangover, for after you've been drinking too much, which is exactly what I mentioned before. Christmas Eve, that was always the thing. So as an adult, I haven't really enjoyed Christmas that much because almost every time I've been hungover. We've got hymns as well, which are similar to carols, but we know they get on Substitute Sabrina's nerves, so we'll give that one a miss and go to R. One word which I thought was brilliant connected to R is receipt. So when someone buys you something that you don't want, you can use the receipt and take it back. But this is dangerous though, isn't it? Because it's always a bit embarrassing. Everyone always says, if you don't like it, you can change it. But can you change it? Can you really?
I mean, yeah, if you have the receipt without the price on it, gift receipt.
Yeah, that's a good invention, I think, gift receipt. But even then, if someone gives me a gift receipt, I'm still, I don't know, I can't relax because I think, I could change this jumper, let's say, for one I like. But then what if they say to me one day, where's that jumper? Or why aren't you wearing that jumper? It's too risky. So I've got so many things that I don't like that people have bought me. You can't imagine.
You could use them for Secret Santa.
Absolutely. Which is a kind of thing where you buy presents for other people in the family or at work or whatever, so you only buy one each.
Right.
And this is what I think happens with a lot of presents. They just kind of just move from one person to the next, which, again, is a bit strange. So for in Britain as well, in England, we have royal, because on Christmas Day at 3:00, the Queen does a speech. Okay. It's a big tradition. I can honestly tell you, in 37 years on Earth, I have never watched that, and I hope I never do. But in my research to this, it said during the speech, the Queen talks about current issues and reflects on what Christmas means to her. So this part here, what Christmas means to her, I mean, if she's done this every year, she's what, 300 years old?
Exactly.
The Queen? Like, is it not getting a bit boring to hear the same thing, what Christmas means to her every year?
Well, I'm sure people who follow, she has a lot of followers. People who follow her probably appreciate it.
Yeah, a lot of followers. Is she on Instagram? Or
Come on, the Pope has social media. She must have it.
But the Pope is about 1 million times cooler than the Queen. Okay, there is no competition about who is cooler. The Pope wins that hands down. A lovely term there to say you win comfortably. So on to I. So I've got ice here. Okay, and my question is: does anyone actually like ice? Not ice in your drinks, like ice on the street, because snow is nice and fun, but when it's ice, is that fun?
I didn't have a lot of experience with that, especially being from Miami. We don't have a lot of ice during winter. But I had a problem here in Rome like 2 years ago. I slipped on my knee on ice, which was not very nice.
That also rhymes. I slipped on ice and it wasn't very nice. I had a similar thing once. Again, I don't think it was Christmas Eve, but I was definitely drunk and walking home, and at the end of the night where you're really hungry, and I bought this burger, and I still think it was the most delicious burger, well, that I was going to say that I've ever eaten, but I didn't actually finish it because I was halfway through the burger walking home and then slipped on a piece of ice. And the burger flew in the air, I don't know where, and then I had a very bad back. And honestly, the burger was so good, I was looking for the burger. Of like, I don't care, I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to eat it. But it was out of sight, couldn't find it. For love nor money, which is a lovely term to say. It was just impossible.
I can just imagine the scene.
Honestly, I think that burger finished on like Mars or something like that. Flew to another planet. But there is not a day that goes by where I do not think about that burger. So on to the S. So I've got here, again, you've already mentioned this actually, in a very strange pronunciation, I must admit. So you say Santa Claus, whilst we tend to go for Father Christmas.
Right, Santa Claus.
Santa Claus.
Santa.
Santa. I mean, that just doesn't even make any sense. But I must admit, these things of like Merry Christmas and Santa Claus are, we do use them as well, because basically the world's just becoming so Americanized, unfortunately.
Oh, so whatever. It's always Santa Claus. What's this Father Christmas?
Because he's the father of Christmas. It's simple. It's like saying Happy Christmas. It just makes more sense.
Listen, Santa Claus lives with Mrs. Santa Claus, with the reindeers and the elves, right. Okay?
You don't really hear much from them during the year, though, do you? They only kind of like...
No, they stay low and...
Yeah, exactly. And then come out of the woodwork during Christmas time, which is a term to say when you don't, someone just appears, let's say. And so obviously for S as well, I've got here shopping. Everyone talks about Christmas shopping. How much of this do you do? Because like I said, I try to avoid this. I try to avoid Christmas cards and presents.
Okay, well, if you're talking about present time, I don't do any Christmas shopping at all.
Excellent. I'm totally with you on that. And as I said, luckily Mrs. R&R is as well. In fact, she said to me the other day, we were eating dinner, and she said, do you think we need to buy our daughter a Christmas present?
Well, that, I think so, yes, definitely.
And I was like, she's not going to remember, is she? So
of course she is.
I mean, is there any point? So we are actually still debating that. But at the same time, we kind of feel like we would be the worst parents in the world that don't buy a present for their child for the child's first Christmas.
You have to make her believe there's Santa Claus. So you have to dress up as Santa Claus, pass by your balcony. She sees you, kind of not sees you, leave a present and go.
Yeah, I'll probably end up falling off the balcony and dying. So probably going to avoid that. So let's try and get through these. We've still got quite a few letters here. So let's go for T, for tree, Christmas tree. Do you bother with one of them?
Hell no.
No?
Sorry.
I mean, I thought I wasn't Christmassy, but you're actually making me look like Father Christmas now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't have any Christmas spirit.
But well, in our family, we bought this last year, the Christmas tree, and so we thought that we should do it again this year. But if I had known the hassle involved, the difficulty, I really wouldn't have bothered, because it takes so much time to do. You need to find the right colour to put in the right place of the Christmas tree, then the decorations,
all those balls that you have to put up.
All those balls. In fact, when we were putting them up, Mrs. R&R broke one, and I came up with the hilarious joke of saying, "You're always breaking my balls." I thought that was amazing. I thought I'd just mention that again. So we'll have to skip through the M. So we've got mistletoe there, obviously kissing under that. We've got A, kind of mentioned this already, alcohol and angels. I think actually a few times on Christmas Eve when I was walking home, I think I did actually see a couple of angels.
When you were drunk with your burger.
Yeah, exactly. I think the angel may have stolen the burger, the bastard. So on to S. So now the last one, Secret Santa. We've already mentioned that. We've got Christmas songs. So stress. Does Christmas stress you? Does it stress you out? Especially in the US, because I must admit, here in Italy, I don't feel stressed at all because it doesn't seem as big. But in England, everyone's so worried and so stressed about the Christmas cards, the presents and the tree and the turkey. It's just a nightmare. How about in the US?
Yeah, it's a stressful moment because the same thing as you mentioned, preparing the dinner and the gifts and the cards and etc. So it's not a holiday anymore if you're stressing over it. So
exactly. So I think the message of the podcast is follow substitute Sabrina's lead and just do nothing for Christmas.
No, okay? I don't want to have people think that I'm a sourpuss, but yeah, everybody enjoy their holidays, because I always say enjoy your holidays.
Oh yeah, holidays, because that's more of the politically correct thing to say, isn't it?
It's enjoy your holidays.
Of course. So enjoy your holidays, and we will leave on a British term, Happy Christmas as well. Okay.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, you win. Okay, well, pleasure as always, substitute Sabrina, and hopefully we'll see you soon in the new year.
Okay, thank you. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. Okay, so that was me speaking to Substitute Sabrina about Christmas and the differences between a UK Christmas and a US Christmas. So having a look at some of the vocab, I told Substitute Sabrina that I had given her a bit of a heads up, so a bit of a warning. We said the Pope wins the battle of who is cooler, him or the Queen, and he wins that battle hands down. So you win it easily. I used a nice term when I said I was halfway through the burger when I lost it. So when you're halfway through something, obviously you haven't finished it, you've only completed 50%. I then mentioned the burger again and said it was out of sight. A lovely term there, so you can't see it anymore. Out of sight. And again about the burger, I used lots of vocabulary about that burger, didn't I? I said I couldn't find it for love nor money. A lovely term there to say it will just never happen. Many people used to say to me, Martin cannot find a girl for love nor money. But then luckily Mrs. R&R arrived. We had put up a Christmas tree. Remember, we have a specific phrasal verb for Christmas trees, to put up a Christmas tree. And we mentioned the hassle involved in it, the difficulty. And at the end, I said, follow Substitute Sabrina's lead. Okay, she is the leader. Let's follow her and not do any Christmas shopping, no Christmas cards, and no Christmas trees. Okay, happy Christmas. But on a serious note, I obviously hope you really do have a great Christmas if you celebrate it. If not, holidays, as Substitute Sabrina says, happy holidays. Enjoy some time off, lots of drinking, lots of eating, and lots of rocking and rolling. So I will see you all again in 2022. But in the meantime, just keep on rocking, baby.
Thanks so much for listening to Rock and Roll English. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit rockandrollenglish.com and facebook.com/rockandrollenglish. We'll catch you next time.